Hello everyone, I am Laethas and welcome back to another video, and today I have another What's for Sale video, this time for the month of March 2018. What's for Sale, of course, being the series where I cover the new and ending series coming out this month, as well as a few other notable releases. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. You should have some Slay the Spire footage going on in the background for you to look at in the bottom right hand corner. But let's get into the chronological releases, and to start off with the 6th of March, first off we have Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Volume 6. This is the last volume of the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Pokemon series, and Viz releases these as kind of half volumes. So the original run only had 3, but this one has 6. So they're only, I think, around 100 pages long, but they are half the price at only $5 a piece. And as I've said, they're released by Viz. If you're a fan of the Pokemon franchise, it's just more Pokemon. I do believe that these series follow the games. So, you know, if you like Pokemon, you liked Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, this is the manga variant to that. Next up, we have The Young Master's Revenge. This is a shoujo title put out by Viz Media, and it is a $10 volume. I think this series is only 4 volumes long, and as I've said, it is a shoujo series. So, you know, short, sweet shoujo. I believe, you know, as most shoujo go, it is about a romance, and I do believe this series deals with sort of a love-hate relationship. It starts off, the main guy, for things that happened in their childhood, really doesn't like the main girl, but as the story progresses, that sort of changes. It is a romance, so, you know, probably can guess where it's going to end up, but yeah, it is another shoujo, and it is a short one as well, so you know, if you're into short shoujo series, this is another one that is coming out. Next up, we have Kaguyasama Love is War. This is another $10 Viz volume. This is a shonen series, and I do believe this is a rom-com, fun, just comedic shonen about 2 people. I think they're both at the top of their class, and they are, you know, they like each other, but they don't want to admit that to the other person, and they're trying to sort of get the other person to admit their feelings first. I think that is how this one goes. So, fun rom-com. I do believe it has a lot of sort of, you know, fan base behind it already. I think it's really big in scans. And this is the physical printing of the series. So if you're into shonen rom-coms, this one appears to be, you know, well loved, and a lot of people seem to be really into it. Moving on to the 13th of March, we start off with Sorry for My Familiar, another series put out by 7 Seas for $13 a volume. This is also a seinen, and Familiar of Zero Style, I believe a girl, her familiar ends up being a dude, although I think he might be like a Japanese salaryman. So, you know, I think it's kind of parodying off of that, and sort of, you know, doing some of the comedy stuff that would involve with her being, you know, him being her familiar, and, you know, weird things kind of going on between that because he's not used to this kind of thing. But yeah, that is a $13 volume. And next up we have Devilman vs. Hades, another series coming out by 7 Seas for $13 a volume, and this is sort of, I think, a crossover between Devilman and Mazinger. So if you're a fan of either of those, this is a crossover. Another Go Nagai thing, although I think this one is newer. And I'm not entirely sure if this one is written and illustrated by him or not. But yeah, more Go Nagai-esque or from Go Nagai manga. But yeah, if you like Devilman, if you like Mazinger, this is like combining them, and they're both represented in this one series, so that is kind of cool. Next up, we have Faretta. This is, of course, the manga version of the story as opposed to the light novel. This one is also being released by 7 Seas Entertainment for $13 a volume. It's based on the light novel, so if you like the light novel for Faretta, then this is probably a series that you're going to like. Yeah, it is a, you know, it's an isekai story, so if you're really into isekai stories, this might be one for you to check out. But aside from that, it's a light novel adaptation, so if you're not generally into those, maybe steer clear. But it is coming out for $13 a volume, put out by 7 Seas. And next up, we have Dreams of the Days, which is a net comics series, which means it's a manhwa. It is a $17 volume, so quite pricey, and this one is a yaoi. I don't know much about it, but it is a Korean yaoi series. So if you're into yaoi, this is a new one, and it is a manhwa. So it, as opposed to being, you know, from a Japanese perspective, this is from a Korean perspective, which is kind of neat. So if you're into yaoi or BL, then you have a new series coming out. I think it's only 1 volume long, but I could be mistaken, or it could be like the I See the Sunspot, where it's like 1 volume, but it's not volume 1, but like there are multiple volumes, but it's not like 1, 2, 3, they're like different stories. It might be one of those, but I think it is just that 1 volume. And moving on to series coming out on the 20th, we have Dragon Half coming out. This is by 7 Seas. This is an omnibus volume. This is a $20 volume. And Dragon Half is originally a 7-volume series, but I do believe 7 Seas is releasing it in sort of 3 omnibus volumes. I know they have color pages and metallic sort of covers to them, which is always really cool to see. We don't get too many metallic or foil covers, you know, for manga. And this is a classic. Well, I'm not sure if like the connotation of classic, you know, fits the series, but that's what they have it listed under on their website when it comes to sort of genres, because it is an older series. So, you know, it was, I do believe, an ecchi, sort of fan service, fun, romantic comedy series involving a half-girl, half-dragon, and the guy that she is in love with happens to be a dragon slayer, so some weirdness, you know, sort of comes around because of that. But this is an older series. My research into it, I don't know if it was sort of like the first of its kind, sort of genre defining of that ecchi comedy romance type thing, but it is old, and always nice to see older series getting releases. So maybe if this is supported, they will be picking up more older series. So yes, that will be coming out. I believe it is $20 or $22. I know it's listed at different prices because this release date has been pushed back several times, so I'm not sure which one is the correct price point. But I do think it is $20 per volume, but we shall see in the future. Next up, we have Mononoke Sharing, another series put out by 7 Seas. This is a $13 volume, and it is a shoujo ai slash yuri. I'm not sure if it's more explicit or less explicit in its sort of sexual content. I do believe it's just a shoujo ai, more so just the friendship, you know, becoming romantic, but not so much lustful sort of side of things. So, you know, romance, comedy, if you're a Yuri fan, you know, Girls Love fan, GL fan, you know, we have another one of those coming out, and that is, you know, of course put out by 7 Seas and is a $13 volume. Next up, we have DNA Doesn't Tell Us. This is another series put out by 7 Seas. 7 Seas been putting out a lot of series lately. This is a $13 volume, and this is only a $2, or not $2, 2-volume series. It'd be nice if it was a $2 series. That'd be fantastic, but no, it's a $13 volume, 2-volume series. So very short, fun sort of series. I think it's Kemono Girls or Beast Girls, and yeah, I think it's more just a cute girls doing cute things series. Again, very short 2-volume series. So if you're into that kind of thing, or into not so much monster girls, more so just animal girls, which is like kinda in the halfway point between the not at all and the totally crazy. We've got lamias and centaurs and stuff. So yeah, short series coming out if you like those kinds of things. It is very short, only $13 a volume, and it's put out by 7 Seas. And moving on to series coming out on the 27th. To start off with, we have Cutie Honey A Go-Go. This is put out by 7 Seas. This is a $16 volume, and it is an all-in-one series. It is a seinen, and this was worked on by both Go Nagai and Hideaki Anno. So, you know, Neon Genesis Evangelion and the original creator sort of working together to create this one series that's based on Go Nagai's Cutie Honey. I don't know if it's like a reboot, retelling, side story type thing, but it is based on a classic series, and it has been worked on by some, you know, very big names in the industry. Hideaki Anno, of course, being the director of Neon Genesis Evangelion, and Go Nagai, of course, being Go Nagai. But yeah, that will be coming out, and it is a $16 volume. But it is an all-in-one, and I do believe it is more than just the standard page length of 200. We have Don't Meddle with My Daughter, the third and final volume, put out by 7 Seas for $13 a volume. This is a seinen, very, very sexual series, so know that going in. It's very sexual, but it's short. I do believe it is more so about the gratification of the reader is what I will put it as, from what I understand and from people who have talked about it. So, highly sexual series, dealing with a mother-daughter team of superheroes that have unfortunate things happen to them in the way that you would absolutely expect from a series like this. So, if that's your kind of thing, this is a short 3-volume series that is concluding this month. And next up, we have Soul Liquid Chambers, also put out by 7 Seas for $13 a volume, coming out. And this seems like a really just super edgy series about a girl from, like, in a post-apocalyptic sort of wasteland, and she's got, like, prosthetic legs because she doesn't have legs anymore, and she's, like, killing a bunch of stuff. So it seems like an edge fest of a series. So if you're into super edgy stuff, then this seems like a series that you might really enjoy. You know, it is got a lot of nasty stuff going on with gore, I do think. Yeah, so, you know, keep that in mind. Post-apocalyptic, zombie slaying, and it's this crazy, I think, just insane girl going around killing a bunch of zombies and stuff. So that sounds like absurd and cool and awesome. Then this is coming out, put out by 7 Seas for $13 a volume. And I should also note that this is also by the same creator that did Dance in the Vampire Bund. So, you know, if you liked his other series, you might enjoy this one as well. And next up, we have City, which is put out by Vertical for, I want to say, $12 a volume, which is kind of a strange and interesting price point. But City is another series, or a series put out and written by the same author of Nichijou. So if you're a big fan of Nichijou, this is another series written by him, and you can absolutely see by the art style of the series that it's definitely that guy. Yeah, you know, gonna be comedic, gonna be absurd, gonna be fun, and hilarious. So if you're a fan of Nichijou, then this is another series by the same creator. But yeah, that will wrap it up for all of the chronological releases. I'm very quickly going to blast through some notables. I noticed I had a lot last time, so I have sort of trimmed it down a lot. So some series that maybe should be in here are not, just because I've tried to trim it down a ton from last time. And so, you know, I'm still going to go through them very quickly. But there are not as many, nearly as many as there were last time. But first off, we have the 40th volume of Skip Beat coming out on the 6th. This is a Viz series for $10 a volume, and it is a very long-running shoujo series at 40 volumes. I think it's the longest shoujo series in English. I think currently it is the longest shoujo series running in English. It may be the longest total, like the longest shoujo series put out in English, period. But I'm not entirely certain on that. Also on the 6th, we have the 72nd volume of Bleach. Bleach, of course, is Bleach, one of the big three. A lot of people consider it to be the worst of the big three, or at least that's what the Weekly Shonen Jump rankings would tell you. But I personally do not have any experience with the series. Also coming out on the 6th, we have Haikyuu Volume 21, the most popular sports series, I think, ever, I want to say, in the English market, or in the Western market, because I know Hajime no Ippo is also very popular, but that's just that has yet to be licensed. But you know, this is a Shonen Jump series put out by Viz, so it is a $10 volume. And next up, we have the wildly successful and popular One Punch Man, the 13th volume, coming out also on the 6th, put out by Viz for $10 a volume. It is under their Shonen Jump imprint, but I don't think the series is a shonen. I think it's a seinen, doing sort of parody on a lot of just shonen tropes in general. And this is the series put out by One. But the volumes, or the physical volumes, have artwork by Yusuke Murata. So the artwork is quite good. And this series is wildly popular. Has currently one anime adaptation with a second in the works. So, yeah. Next up, we have finally the return of Hunter x Hunter with the 34th volume coming out also on the 6th. The series, infamously known as Hiatus X Hiatus, or Hiatus, because it, I think, has been on hiatus more than it has been in serialization during its life cycle. So we're getting the 34th volume. It's been a long time since the series started, and we're only on volume 34, so kind of funny. But it is a $10 volume put out by Viz as well. And I do know the series, the anime, is considered one of the best ever made. I've not seen the 2011 version, but I have seen the 1999 version that does not quite get to the Greed Island arc, but I really thought the 1999 version was fantastic. So I do think Hunter x Hunter the manga is probably a fantastic series, though I have heard negatives about the artwork because he has some health issues going on, but yeah, that is the 34th volume. Next up, coming out on the 20th, we have the 4th volume of Golden Kamui, one of the sort of larger seinen series coming out currently. You know, we've got Golden Kamui, Tokyo Ghoul, that are, well, I'm talking about ones that are serializing regularly, right? So Berserk wouldn't count because it goes on hiatus as well. But yeah, Golden Kamui, one of the big new seinen series that a lot of people seem to be talking about recently, is in the Viz signature sort of imprint and size, so it's a $13 volume. And last up for the notables, we have Children of the Whales Volume 3, also coming out on the 20th. It is another Viz signature series for $13 a volume, and it is one of the few Viz signature series that is not a seinen or a shonen, and it's actually a shoujo. The only other shoujo or josei that I can think of off the top of my head that is in the Viz signature size or imprint is All My Darling Daughters, which is a series I really liked, and Children of the Whale seems to be something everyone's reading and a lot of people really like, and I think it has gotten an anime adaptation recently. It might be ongoing, or it might be next season or the season prior, I can't remember. I'm not really up to date on my seasonal anime, but yeah, this is a series that I've heard only great things about. But that will wrap it up for the manga, and now on to some light novels, art books, that kind of thing. Though we don't have any novels or light novels coming out, only a few art books. First off, we have The Art of the Secret World of Arrietty, or Arrietty. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Some people think it's Arrietty. I think it's Arrietty. I don't really know the correct pronunciation, but that is coming out on the 6th from Viz Media for $35 a volume, and it's an art book for the Studio Ghibli film of the same name. Not sure what else to talk about for the art book, But finally, that will do it for this What's for Sale video on March. I tried to go a lot faster and give more brief descriptions of volumes or series. Let me know if you prefer that, or if you'd prefer sort of the more in-depth and sort of longer explanations of the volumes or the series. Or at least I think I went faster in this one. Maybe if I look at the timestamp, it'll be different. But yes, if you have recommendations for this series going further, if you know, I missed something, or if I have something in here that shouldn't be here, let me know that as well. If you have recommendations for these series, or if you've read them and you want to give your opinions to people in the comments, do that as well, or maybe suggest some of them to me. Do that as well. But yeah, that will do it for this What's for Sale video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and share, and if you'd like to keep up to date with all of my content, you can hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, there is a link to that in the description. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I am Laethas. Goodbye.